Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to It Is Real. My name is Bill McFerrin, and I'll be your host this evening. My co-host Ron Bagwell is on assignment and will join me on next month's show. We had such a big response to last month's show about the alien autopsy, so we've decided to go ahead and see some more footage of it. The haunted car show will be next month. We've brought Mr. X back into the studio to answer questions, risking his life tonight again. He has brought in some more artifacts for us to see, and we'll begin to see some more footage here in just a second. We could talk to Mr. X for a second here and maybe give a little background as to what exactly happened over there on the peninsula. Mr. X, could you talk a little bit about what actually happened over there?
Yes, on February 27th of this year, we tracked a UFO crossing the Puget Sound area, and it impacted on the Olympic Peninsula. We recovered a craft along with 2 alien bodies. An autopsy was performed on the most intact body, and a film was made of the autopsy, and I have obtained that film, smuggled it off the base, and I'm making it available to the American public. What you're about to see, like the title said, is very graphic, so get ready to see something very unusual.
Okay, well, why don't we go ahead and show some of this film for our viewers, and then we'll begin to take calls here in just a second. We do have one line into the studio, so if you get a ring, that means you're next, so hang in there. Let's go ahead. Seen there. We'll take calls for Mr. X this evening. One line open into the studio right now. I don't see any calls right now, so I'm going to go ahead and ask Mr. X some questions that were brought up to me after the show by people who had watched it. Mr. X, you seem to have long hair on the last show, and people were asking me, well, this guy's in the military, why does he have such long hair? Could you answer that question for us?
Yeah, I sure can. That's a part of my ever-changing identity that I have to have. I do not want to be detected. I do not want my identity to be disclosed. My life is very much in danger, and it will be for some time until this film is out and publicity is known about it. I feel then, when it's common knowledge of the actual autopsy and film, that my life will be somewhat more safe too, and I can reveal myself.
I think we do have a caller on here. If we'd go ahead and take that call. Caller, could you tell us your first name and what city you're calling from?
Yeah, my name's Kevin. I'm calling from Bellevue, and I was just wondering, where do you guys get your weed? Because it's obviously a lot better than the shit that I'm smoking.
Very good question. Mr. X, why don't you go ahead and take that one?
Well, actually, where we get our weed from really has little to do with what you're seeing on the show tonight. But we do appreciate your question, although it was a fairly stupid one.
Yeah, we do this pretty straight. Neither one of us smokes marijuana. We've got another line open. Oh, here we go. Caller, go ahead. Just tell me your first name and what city you're calling from.
Yes, my name is Paul, and I'm from Seattle. And I think you guys are on some real heavy drugs also.
Great, okay. Well, you know, we do this straight, and thanks for your call.
Actually, being on drugs for probably help us to not be as concerned about our lives as we are right now, but drugs really have nothing to do with what you're seeing.
Can we get a call about the autopsy this time? We've got this footage here that never been seen on TV before. I've got a gentleman in the studio that pretty much risking his life just to be here. Go ahead. Another caller. Yes, caller, can you tell me your first name and where you're calling from?
Hi, my name is Ann, and I'm actually from Queen Anne.
Oh, Queen Anne area.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a question for Mr. X tonight?
I do. In the autopsy, was there any indication as to whether the aliens had a sex, whether this was a female or maybe a male, or anything about their reproductive capabilities?
Oh, that's a very good question, Ann. If you notice the last segment that was shown of the autopsy, we were removing what appeared to be some type of sexual reproductive coil. After analyzing that particular coil, it was determined that this alien was able of conceiving and procreating at the same time. In other words, this was a male-female creature.
So it's sort of like our earthworms almost, where there's asexual or can reproduce on their own.
Exactly. This could have possibly been a hybrid that was used for space exploration in order to procreate while in extended space flights.
Ah. What actually happened to the remains of the alien after the autopsy?
They are still being kept on the base and under very, very tight security. The second alien, by the way, was destroyed beyond the point of performing any type of viable autopsy on that body.
So you're still